say. Honolulu
Really?
might be the most isolated city, but one of those two. Ran from a rugby club, ran 4 loops, and then showered at the rugby club, which we were all glad to have, and then got back on the plane
Oh, wow.
and off to Dubai.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
How was Dubai? I was
Dubai
worried about.
awesome.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't go into the city, though. They have an expo center they built in 2020 to host the world, if you will. It's almost like Disney World. Like there's a building Saudis built and the building the United States built, and then COVID hit. And so this huge, huge kind of almost city in and of itself outside the city of Dubai, they opened that up for us, lighted it for us. We ran there. So it was pretty
Smart.
amazing.
So you had air
And
conditioning.
it was very neat because we went in on a private jet. So we landed at the private airport in Dubai, and you can imagine what that was like. You know,
The
you go into
gold-plated jet sitting
Shangri-La.
out there.
yeah,
on
you
the
get into
tarmac.
the lounge, and there's Lamborghinis down one side and Bugattis down the other side,
Wow.
and it was fun.
Sorry, so now you do Dubai, and Dubai is your
Number
fourth
4
in 3 days.
in 3
right?
days, exactly.
How's your body feeling at this
Body's
point?
feeling good. You know, legs feel great, hips are good. Everybody's kind of feeling it out. One guy had some trouble and actually had to get some crutches on the second marathon
Wow.
and did the next 6 with crutches.
Oh my gosh!
So,
Wow.
so there were some people that struggled with injuries, and I would say anyone who had a nagging injury,
Yeah.
it quickly surfaced. I was fortunate; I'd never had an injury, so I felt great. Marathon 5 was in Madrid, so
Okay.
a short flight really from Dubai to Madrid, considering about 6 hours on an F1 track.
Oh wow!
And so
Interesting.
I was a little worried
that's
about it, and
all-
it turned out to be a pretty valid concern because the pitch on the F1 track is very slanted.
yeah.
And
Okay.
and so we ran 11 laps on an F1 track. Big hill on that one too, as you imagine those race cars coming over that hill. And run up it the first time, I think 10 more times of this. And as I began to run, I began to have some low back spasms in Madrid. And so
like actually spasming,
like
tightening up,
spasming
like-
in my back, yeah. And
Oh,
so
no.
I was struggling, but I finished it. And so
Okay.
I was like, okay, fine. I got 5 marathons in 4
got
days
through it.
done. Next is Brazil, next to last race. And in Brazil, I couldn't run the full marathon. I ran a half marathon. in
Did you
Brazil.
know, like as you were loosening up before the race, like I'm hurting here?
Yeah, totally hurting. And like we had a medic guy with us. I was like, "Do you have a muscle relaxer by any chance? I'm having some back spasm. I've never had back trouble." And they were like, "We don't." And one guy said, "I have a cane if you need a cane." And I said, "No, I don't think I need a cane. I'm just going to start running, in Brazil, and we'll see." It's right there by the ocean, beautiful day. Again, really hot, really humid. Felt like you're running in the jungle a little bit. And after a couple loops, I was like, "I'll take the cane."
And
I'm
someone
gonna
was,
need it.
someone was just texting in, how much did this trip cost? But you were raising money, right?
Right.
For
So
a
I
good
had some
cause.
corporate sponsors that covered the registration for the race. I'm very grateful for that. Frederick Medical College being one of them. And they sponsored any expense on registering for the race, but the expense to do the race is about $50,000 for an individual to do it because of all the flights, the private jet, all the food, everything. And then I raised money in addition to that. So anyone who gave money to the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation, which is a national organization raising awareness, providing financial support to those families that need some bridging as they encounter a disease that's actually a lot more common than most people think. Lifetime risk, 1 in 250 men will have testicular cancer. And the encouraging part of that is 95% curable if found early.
So you hobbled through
So I hobbled
the half
through
in Brazil.
the half in Brazil.
Where was
and
the
then
final?
at Miami.
race? Were you worried, like if you'd be able to run it all, or did you know
Yeah,
you were
a
feeling good
little
enough?
bit, just because I was like, the unknown of how's my back going to behave. But mentally, I kind of always knew I was going to be able to at least do the half. And so in Miami, I did a half as well. So I wound up running 5 marathons, 5 full marathons, 2 half marathons.
It's
in
incredible.
6 days. And in Miami, I had my 3 kids there. My wife Jan was there. My
So you had
brother, my
adrenaline. You were
sister. It was
ready. You were-
awesome.
How
And-
much weight did we lose?
Oh, none really.
What?
Yeah, none. Yeah. I mean, you're eating like crazy and trying to keep up, and you're drinking tons of fluids, and so it's not I wouldn't recommend
Did
it
we
as a weight
become more
loss program.
muscular? What did?
Definitely increase muscle mass during the training, but during the 6 days, it's really just about getting rest and recovery in between.
How
the
much did you
races.
sleep right after?
Oh man, I just went straight to the condo in Miami and went to sleep before I even went to celebrate with my family.
Yeah, you needed
But,
that rest.
Did you grow close to some of the other runners?
Oh, they're amazing people. You can imagine. So, very, very diverse group. After they gave the instructions to us in English, they gave it in Mandarin because there was a huge Chinese group as well. But very much national pride. Lots of American flags amongst the 20 of us. One of the guys I got to know really well worked for the Secret Service, worked in the White House.
Wow.
Was running to raise awareness for the 13 soldiers that were killed in the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
So there were about 10 or 12 of us that were running for a cause. There's one other Wisconsinite from Janesville.
Really?
Running to raise awareness for Alzheimer's. His mother had passed away from that. So it was just super cool to see him and just connect with. I had no idea he would be there.
Were there women?
There were. Oh yeah, there were actually 2 women that were 67 years of age that both completed all 7 marathons.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, and these people are like, I've done a dozen Ironmans. I've run over 100 marathons. I mean, some of these people were just unbelievable
Hardcore.
just to talk to. But they were so humble. Like you have to draw that out of them. You'd be like, how many marathons have you done? Oh, I've done a fair number. Have you done more than 50? Oh, yeah, I've done more than. But just really neat people.
If people want to help now, how can they do that? You're still raising money for this great cause.
We have
What's
an
the easiest way?
Instagram, T. Clark Gamblin, Instagram. There's a link there for a pledge site. We've raised about $130,000. We're super proud of the idea that corporate sponsorship allows us to say to people, if you give money to the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation, 100% of it goes to the foundation. None of it covers anything with the race. So I appreciate all the support that people have
So
given.
Instagram, it's T. Clark Gamblin.
Correct.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Check it out there. T. Clark Gamblin is a surgical oncologist. Congratulations. This is incredible. It's such a proud thing for all of us that live here that you did this. This is so
thanks.
cool.
I'm looking forward to sharing the story with people. The University of Minnesota football coach called me this week and said, men's health is important to us, and our young men need to know how to overcome adversity. They need to have mental grit. Would you come over and spend some time with the team?
Wow.
And I was like, that's exactly why I did this, to share a message about men's health, raise awareness for testicular cancer, and inspire other people. So I appreciated that invitation. Look forward to sharing the story with lots of people.
That's amazing. Dr. Gamblin, thank you so much for sharing the story with us and our listeners.
Thanks for having me.
It is 3:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Developers of the Iron District Soccer Stadium anticipate a construction start by early to mid-summer. The developers are still targeting opening the stadium in time for the 2026 United Soccer League season, which begins next March. A revised proposal for the redevelopment of Willow Run Golf Club into multi-use residential properties now includes rental homes and a clubhouse. The proposal would close the Pewaukee Golf Course. After opening 7 job hubs within Walmart locations last year, Manpower Group anticipates adding more in 2025. Executives estimated opening 7 to 10 Manpower hubs in the second or third quarter of 2025. I'm Logan Hansen from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Connect Chiropractic, 2 locations at Connect Chiropractic. A third is coming. Stay tuned for that. Right now, Connect Chiropractic is in Wauwatosa and near Mayfair and in Delafield, right off the interstate. I go to Connect every single Thursday. I love going because they keep me feeling like I need to feel. I can play pickleball. Doesn't bother me. I can do all the stuff in the yard. Doesn't bother me. I used to carry a lot of tension in my neck and in my back. It's all better thanks to Connect Chiropractic, voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor. They'll help with all the stuff that you've got going on. No twisting, cracking, popping. It's a more nuanced, long-term care focus on total wellness. I love being in there. It's a great place. It's Connect Chiropractic.
Save big money on your next project, now at Menards. Don't let an outdated garage door define your home. Revamp your home's appearance with a new Ideal Garage Door. Choose from our large in-stock selection or design your own using our free Garage Door Designer. Save big and Ideal Garage Doors. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Barrett Center, the 22nd through the 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Tonight, the Bucks are blasting off into Houston to take on the Rockets.
Around a Giannis screen, pocket pass, Giannis with a head full of steam, glides to the rim and lays it in. Bucks by 4.
Our coverage starts at 6 with Bucks shoot-arounds. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure, your top story vowing not to vote for a House GOP budget plan.
I'm Julia Fellow. A Wisconsin principal faces homicide charges.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94, right about at Mitchell Boulevard. Looks like we got a broken down vehicle there. It is off on the right shoulder, but still, you're seeing delays coming in from 76th Street all the way past that point to 35th. Westbound 94, still a little bit heavy out of the Marquette all the way to about 35th Street. Southbound 43, slow from Capitol Drive through the Marquette over the high rise to the KK River crossing. And southbound 41, heavy just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down to just south of Capitol. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, increasing clouds, low 33. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 45. It's currently 48. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the House has taken up a budget package with votes possible later this evening. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is accusing Republicans of implementing steep cuts to fund tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans.
It's been their North Star all along to provide tax cuts for their billionaire club and have the American people, unfortunately and sadly, pay the price.
Democrats believe the vote could be extremely close.
Federal workers have rallied outside the headquarters of Health and Human Services today, protesting the Trump administration's cuts to medical research programs, they say. Emilia Ventriglia is a researcher at the National Institutes of Health.
Nobody voted to halt cancer research. Nobody voted to cut life-saving treatments to heart disease. Diabetes affects millions of Americans. Is that a left-wing agenda? I don't think so.
Early this month, the Trump administration proposed slashing funding for scientific research distributed by the National Institutes for Health.
A near miss has been confirmed between a Southwest Airlines jet and a private jet on a runway at Chicago's Midway International Airport. News Nation's Alex Capriello.
This was a very close call, a near miss between a private jet and a Southwest jet. And if it wasn't for that quick thinking and the action of both the pilot and the first officer, it's very clear that this could have been another aircraft disaster, nearing a half dozen just since the start of the year.
No injuries have been reported.
Here locally, a Whitefish Bay Elementary School associate principal facing murder charges related to a drunk driving case. Associate principal at Cumberland Elementary, Rebecca Solomon, is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle for a crash from December in the town of West Bend. Police say that Solomon failed to yield the County Trunk P and County Trunk NN and crashed into another car. The driver of the other car, a 44-year-old man, was seriously injured and died a few days later at the hospital. Solomon has initial court appearance in Washington County scheduled for next month.
A suspect is dead after a police shootout last night in the town of Fond du Lac.
Sheriff's deputies say they made contact with the suspect over the phone initially regarding a felony warrant, then responded to the Woodland Park mobile home community. There, they say the suspect refused to listen to their commands, and after non-lethal force was used, the suspect showed a gun. A deputy then shot the suspect, who later died at a hospital. No officers or members of the public were injured. The deputy involved has been placed on administrative leave, and the State Department of Justice is currently investigating. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The United Performing Arts Fund hopes to boost fundraising.
The number is $10.7 million.
A launch event this evening will be the first for UPAF's new president and CEO, Anne-Marie Scobie-Polachek.
Enjoying performances from the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. There will be a number from Frankenstein the Musical, which Skylight is putting on, and also a performance by the ballet.
UPAF and your donations, the reason our fine arts in Milwaukee are as fine as they are.
We are the largest United Performing Arts Fund in the nation.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
The launch event is free and open to the public. It begins an hour from now at the Skylight Music Theater in a third ward.
Coming up, from cutting its workforce to cutting its menu.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:07.
Changes are coming to Starbucks, and if you're a fan of Java Chip, you will not like this news.
Starbucks is shaking up its drinks menu, getting rid of 13 what it calls less popular beverages to help streamline operations and move customers through stores quicker. They include white hot chocolate, Royal English breakfast latte, and 9 different fraps, including the Java Chip Frappuccino. Starbucks says the drink cuts, along with some food changes, reflect about a 30% reduction of menu items. The menu changes go into effect next Tuesday. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. College Hoops, 21st ranked Marquette hosts Providence, a 6 o'clock tip. The 11th ranked Wisconsin Badgers host Washington. That's an 8 o'clock tip. Badgers sports updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. And winners of 4 straight, the Bucks travel to Houston to face the Rockets tonight. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:08.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange. Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at The Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right. And we're joined in the studio by WTMJ's Sean Brinda, who's working on a pretty interesting story involving an iconic part of our state and federal workers. Hey, Sean.
Hey, John and Julia. Have you guys ever been in the national parks before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Lots of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, those parks are all employed by federal workers, but more than 2,000 Park Service and U.S. Forest Service employees from rangers, maintenance staff, even some emergency crews have lost their jobs within the past 2 weeks. Up at the Apostle Islands, several employees have been cut. Now, I talked with a retired park ranger named Neil Hoke, who just to learn the big impact of how these cuts will affect the upcoming busy seasons up at the islands.
If there are fewer people working in the park, it'll be more difficult to bring in volunteers to staff some of the locations as well. The volunteers need to be trained. They need to be provided with the equipment that they need, the radios, the keys, and that sort of thing. They need to be checked into quarters and checked out of quarters. And if there aren't people on the staff that are there to do those things, then you can't even bring volunteers on in the summertime.
Now, while the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore is not considered a national park, out of the 21 islands spread over the area of Lake Superior, it's nearly 290,000 acres, which is larger than Rocky Mountain National Park all the way out in Colorado. Yeah, so Hoke says that the fewer employees that work at the park, more job responsibilities are going to fall to people who still have their jobs there.
I know at least one of the 4 people that was laid off at the Apostle Islands a week ago, and he was the person who was responsible for communicating with the public and updating the park's website and creating Facebook posts so the public knew what was going on in the park, and so that's another job that someone else is going to have to try to pick up as a collateral duty, and it's not going to be kept up in a timely fashion.
Another impact with these jobs that are being cut are the everyday services that most visitors are really taking for granted.
At the parks where you have to go through an entrance station in order to get into the park, there's going to be a lot longer lines of people waiting to get in. It's going to be, more difficult for people to plan a trip. It's not going to be as safe. There won't be as many people who will be available to conduct search and rescues when there's emergencies or respond when people get hurt. For a lot of people, it'll be an inconvenience. For a few people, it could be a matter of life and death.
Hoke told me he's not sure where America's public lands go from here due to a good number of park rangers being baby boomers and they're ready to retire, and that rehire rate is low enough as it is right now. It could present a lot of problems for the parks moving forward. Now, while the current administration has asked the Park Service to rehire 5,000 seasonal employees, the training for those jobs will be difficult without those full-time federal employees to properly train them at their designated parks.
Man, that's fascinating. I would have never thought about that.
I wouldn't think that you would cut someone if it was life or death, like a search and rescue.
Yeah, that's a good heads up. WTMJ Sean Brinda. Good stuff. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Coming up after the break, something that hasn't happened in Washington in quite some time. We'll be starting up soon. And think about this question. At what point would eggs be so expensive that you literally would not buy them? Do you have a number? What's the number? We'll talk about how eggs and the rising costs are impacting everyday Americans. We'll do that coming up in just a couple of minutes.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
What are you seeing in terms of availability and pricing, and has it impacted your poke restaurants?
Egg prices have been crazy right now. I've talked to a couple of our vendors, and they were joking at we're entering at this time in the market, and I think things will level out in the next month or 1 to 3 months. I think by the time we open, it should be somewhat leveled out, and we'll figure it out.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
John Mercury here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. So there's a thing at Griffin Ford I never knew existed, and it is super cool. A couple of weeks ago, my car barely started. It and it finally started. I was like, I think the battery's dead, or I don't know. I'm not a car guy. So I called Griffin Ford. They do all my service work. And I said, I guess I got to bring the car in. I think it's the battery. They said, you know what? We have a mobile service. Let us roll out the mobile service. I said, what? They rolled out a service truck. It came to the house. So I took Michelle's car into work. Griffin's mobile service came to the house. They replaced the battery. They did a complete checkup. They looked the car over. They fixed it. It's good as new. I never had to take the car to the dealership. It was super convenient, and I couldn't believe how affordable it was. It's just one of the many things they do right at Griffin. The mobile service department, it was absolutely incredible. So they've got great service, and they've got the best selection. For 47 straight years, the Ford F-Series truck, like the F-150, has been number one, and they've got like 50 of these bad boys in stock at Griffin Ford right now. 300 new certified used vehicles in stock right now. Choose your powertrain. You can get conventional gas, hybrid, electric. They've got them all at Griffin Ford. Best service, best selection, all day long. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey, John. Southbound on 43. Watch for delays. They kick in right south of Capitol Drive, and you will be riding those brakes all the way down through the Marquette, over the high-rise bridge, pretty much all the way down past Lapham. You'll be back on the brakes from Lincoln all the way down past the KK River crossing towards the area of Howard Avenue. After that, it does open up. You're okay into the Mitchell interchange. Eastbound 94, a heavy ride from 84th Street to 35th. Westbound slow from 25th Street to about Hawley Road. Southbound 41, backed up from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Not quite to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 45. On Thursday, mostly cloudy, a high of 42. On Friday, mild and breezy, a high of 52. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 35 degrees. Right now, it's clear skies and 45, 48. So here's the truth. Sometimes I can't readily see what the temperature is somewhere, so I just kind of guess based on what I thought it used to be.
Well, listen, mine says 48. I was trying to help a brother out, but this says 50 on 12 and 4. So.
Well, and I said, what'd I say, 45?
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough, right? Hey, the White House is doing something they haven't done in quite a while. The Trumps decided, really this is all attributed to Melania Trump, all the reporting is, that she wanted to reopen the White House for public tours. So today was the first day that the White House is back reopened for public tours. It shut down because of COVID. Then there were security concerns. It never really opened back up for touring. So now the White House is reopened. Requests go through members of Congress. So if you want to take your family on a tour of the White House during the summer or over spring break, you need to get in touch with your member of Congress, and then they help coordinate it. It's first come, first serve, and there's only so many slots. So your member of Congress can help you with that. They will be offered Tuesday through Saturday with varying hours depending on what's happening at the White House. Melania says, the president and I are excited to reopen the White House to those interested in the extraordinary story of this iconic and beautiful landmark. Remember, she was criticized for kind of saying that the White House was dumpy during the first term. And now she's saying very nice things, and she's saying that they're proud to reopen the White House to tours. And they said that they'll actually do longer, like into the evening sometimes, based on what's happening at the White House.
Oh, my gosh, I would flip. I would want to go during Christmas time.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be really super cool.
We need to do a Colette vacation.
Ooh, I like this.
Where we could go with John Mercure to the White House.
At Christmas. At Christmas time. D.C., I bet, is beautiful at Christmas. I've been to Washington. I've been on 35 honor flights, and I've been 5 or 6 other times. I've never been in the White House.
Oh, I thought you were.
No. You know who's been there a lot is Charles Benson for work and stuff.
Yeah, and you can't drive in front of it. You got to walk in front of it.
Yeah, they shut that down after 9/11. I would love to go to the White House. That would be a cool thing. I want to be in the White House briefing room as a journalist.
Oh, I know. That my dream was always to be outside of the White House on the lawn and say reporting at the White House. And Charles Benson says every time it's really fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. It is 4:19 at WTMJ. Okay, what's your number? What would eggs have to get to a dozen to impact your behavior? Or has it already? Are you not buying eggs? Are you not buying as many eggs because of what they cost? Right now, they are about $10 a dozen. They were about $3 a dozen. It literally has gone up like 80 cents each of the past 2 days. What's your number? We'll tell you our number, and I want to know, is it impacting your behavior? 855-616-1620.
Grab your to-do list and head to Fleet Farm for Project Days, happening now through the 26th. Carhartt fans get a free $20 gift card with every $100 worth of Carhartt gear. Good on your next Fleet Farm purchase. Sprout Sweet Mix for horses and livestock is just $8.99 a bag. And save $50 on a Milwaukee M18 Compact Brushless Drill Driver Kit, now only $149. And save big on Milwaukee tools during Milwaukee Deal Days, February 20th through the 26th at Fleet Farm.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. They are absolutely the best. You know, I use the treadmill at home all the time. I'm drinking more water at home than I ever did. And thank goodness for Guthrie and Fry. They protect the water. I've got an RO system. It's a filtering system. That means the water coming into our house is crisp, it's clean, it's clear. Rob and Sue, they train their teams up to be fantastic when they're in your house. And they're also involved in the local community. They know that better water makes a big difference at Guthrie and Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, our choice at home, Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract. All natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
So Denny's is becoming the latest to implement a surcharge on the cost of eggs. They haven't said exactly how this is going to play out, but they are confirming that in most of their stores, they will begin adding a surcharge for menu items because of the shortage of eggs caused by the avian flu. They have 1,500 locations. They say it will vary from restaurant to restaurant based on the regional impact of egg prices. This comes after Waffle House began adding a 50-cent per egg surcharge if you order eggs at a Waffle House.
That's annoying.
Okay, so in many parts of America, eggs have soared to, I'm reading this here, $12 a carton. Here, you said you just looked it up. Here, they're like $8 for eggs, like if you get the regular eggs at Pick and Save. They were under $3 a year ago.
Yikes.
Okay, so that's really, really, really much more expensive. So the question on the table is, what would eggs have to get to for you to change your behavior, stop buying eggs? Would that happen? Is that a deal at all? What is your number? So I've been thinking about this. We don't go through a lot of eggs, but we have, I don't know, at any given time, we usually have the 18-pack in the fridge. Then we take like 2 weeks and we go through the 18-pack, and then the next time at the store, we buy more. So I like hard-boiled eggs on salad. We don't make a lot of breakfasty food, so we don't go through a ton of eggs.
My husband loves eggs.
For breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
Great source of protein. easy to make.
I had 6 boiled eggs on last Thursday.
Whoa!
That's a lot
one
of money
day?
in eggs. I really like the inside, the
That's a
yolk
lot.
mostly. I know.
Okay.
That was my dinner.
So has it
Expensive
impacted
dinner.
you at all? Are you thinking about buying or not buying eggs based on what the price is?
We get the organic too.
Oh, so that's
it's
even more.
more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We try to get organic everything. Yeah.
Has it
touching-
impacted? Has the rising prices impacted your buying habits
I get
for
like
eggs?
3 things and it's like $250.
Yeah.
Everything's going up. And if I want like the really nice maple syrup, they charge 75 cents more at the restaurant too. It's a total ripoff sometimes to go to a restaurant, John.
All right. You
Come
know
on.
what's weird, Brandon? This is the third time I'm going to ask you. Has it changed your buying habits buying eggs? You don't want to answer the question. Yeah, you. You.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I told you no.
Mine will never change unless they get to $50 a dozen. Okay, so now I'll be serious. My real answer is, what would it have to get to change? Okay, it went from $3 to $8. In another month, they're predicting it'll be $10 average everywhere. Okay, my number would literally be, it would have to get to probably $25 a dozen before I would even consider it. The way I look at it, even at $25 a dozen, that's $2 an egg.
That would be too much.
It's a lot, but it would not be enough for me to say, whoa, I'm not buying any more eggs. It just wouldn't. What would your number be, do you think?
Well, it's already over 10. I probably wouldn't even, after everything that, the cost of everything, I probably wouldn't even notice. Maybe 18.
Yeah, so a ways to go, right?
So $1 an egg, if there's 18 in there.
Yeah, but I do feel bad because there are clearly people that are having to make that choice. And for a lot of people, eggs were for a long time a cheap source of protein, a cheap way to get good breakfast for your kids because they weren't very expensive. At $3 an egg, $3 a carton, that was pretty cheap, you know? You buy eggs and you get a pretty good source of protein. And for people who have to make choices in the grocery store, they're definitely being impacted. But I don't know. I guess I look at it kind of like the gas story.
I got to go to Costco. This person says 2 dozen organic brown eggs, $8.49.
Really?
From the 920.
I guess that's where you need to be going.
Mm-hmm.
Why organic? Are they healthier? Why do you buy everything organic?
Oh, because my husband has Parkinson's disease.
So is it a health thing?
So
Like,
we're
is
doing
it
a whole
better for him?
total
it's cleaner?
health thing. It's cleaner. It's healthier. I would suggest everybody to get organic.
Here's another text. Eggs are a vital part of my cooking and my family's diet. With that said, I would seriously think twice if they were to get over $20. Okay, so they're not really budging either. From the 262.
$3 to $20?
Listen to this. You guys are going to like this one. You have to really be a listener of the show to understand this text. Really, Mercure, you would spend $25 on a dozen eggs, but you would keep everybody backed up in line for 20 minutes waiting for a 60-cent coupon? Remember last week I told the story about how I had a 60-cent off egg coupon and they couldn't cash the coupon. I made them go get the manager and everybody in line was ticked off.
They waited 10 minutes for him to use his coupon.
Yeah.
You are wrong.
Most people agreed with you guys, I think, by the way. It is 427 at WTMJ. Let's check those markets. Kind of a bumpy day. The Dow was up 160. That's a third of a point. But the NASDAQ was off big again. It was down 260 points. Now it's barely over 19,000. That's 1 1/3 points. The S&P was off 28 points on the day. That's almost half a point. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new and score great offers and special savings to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Connect with Holiday for expert help, their low simplified price, and $500 auto show bonus cash on new 2025s. Stackable with offers like low 2.9% 5-year financing for well-qualified buyers on most models, including Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. How about the 2-row Mazda CX-70 and 3-row Mazda CX-90? Save even more if you or someone in your household already drives Mazda with owner loyalty rewards. Get qualifying details today and enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: Republican objection to the Trump spending blueprint.
I'm Julia Fellow. How effective was this year's flu vaccine?
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we got a crash now. 894 eastbound, just about at Loomis. It's off on the right shoulder, and we definitely have delays all the way back to the Hale interchange with this, so careful with that. Southbound 43 slowing from Capitol all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from before the Marquette all the way up to about Burleigh. We've also got westbound 94 slowing out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road, with the eastbound side pretty much solid from 92nd Street to 35th. Southbound 41 backed up from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 33. Tomorrow, scattered showers and a few wet snowflakes are possible north, a high of 45. Right now, it's sunny in Milwaukee at 48 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Republicans have doubts about whether the House budget bill can receive enough votes. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
This is going to be a test for Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. He's a man who is pretty level-headed. He doesn't usually get very animated. Today, he came out and told reporters he feels very confident and very good about where his conference is. But then he ended that same press conference by saying, are we going to vote on this bill today? Maybe, maybe not. Stay tuned. So there's no guarantee from even House leadership. It's pretty clear they still have some work to do, trying to turn some no votes into yeses. We'll see if they get there by 6 o'clock this evening Eastern time.
Still no word at this hour whether or not that vote will happen.
Federal workers have now filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk, with attorneys alleging in a lawsuit that he violated the law with his latest demand with Doge. News Nation's Kelly Meyer.
A lot of questions for those federal workers over who do they listen to, President Trump and Elon Musk, or their immediate supervisors and agency heads. So Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, you heard her there at the podium saying that this is a very simple ask to list out your 5 things. She even said that she did it herself. It's not so much the question over the 5 things, but it's whether or not they have to do it, where the questions were coming from these federal workers.
On Sunday, Musk reiterated the need for federal government employees to explain their weekly accomplishments.
A Southwest Airlines jet and a private jet almost collided at Midway Airport in Chicago earlier today.
This is extremely close. I mean, the airplane doesn't appear to touch down. It was within inches of touching down. We would get smoke off the tires if it actually touched down, but it was maybe 6 inches high.
That was pilot and aviation expert Kit Darby. The crew of Southwest Flight 2504 initiated a go-around, allowing the plane to avoid hitting the jet.
Pope Francis remains hospitalized in critical condition. CBS Seth Doan has the latest from the Vatican.
The pontiff has now spent 12 days in the hospital, battling a host of health issues, developing double pneumonia and mild kidney failure. We asked CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook about the Pope's prognosis.
Can someone recover from this?
It depends what you mean by recover. He has underlying lung problems that he will have for the rest of his life. With each episode, it's like a fighter who takes another punch and another punch and another punch. And after a while, it's hard to keep getting up from the mat.
Vatican officials say the Pope had a CAT scan today to check his lung infection, but they have not yet shared the results.
This season, influenza vaccine may have been a poor match to a strain of the flu virus that caused many infections this winter. That according to early data from the CDC. CBS News correspondent Matt Piper.
Up to 910,000 hospitalizations are estimated to have been caused by the flu since October. Many of the flu viruses that the CDC has tested this season were well recognized by antibodies targeted to the vaccine, but against the H3N2 strain of influenza, which made up just over half of the influenza A viruses scrutinized by the agency, only about 51% of the samples were well recognized by the antibodies.
The first estimates from the CDC's influenza vaccine effectiveness studies for the season are expected to be released by the end of this month.
A well-known burger joint on Milwaukee's east side has closed its doors. The George Webb location on Oakland Avenue is shut down as of last Wednesday. Senior broker Ogden Real Estate Michael Testa tells WTMJ the goal is to fill the space with more recognizable restaurant chains.
We are looking for a little bit more of a national chain that's going to have some stability within the space rather than a local group. At the same time, looking for something that's going to fit the neighborhood and going to be a benefit for everybody in the area.
George Webb still operates 21 restaurants across our state.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers are 1-2 in spring training, but look to even the standings as they play the Guardians today. Our next Brewers broadcast on WTMJ set for tomorrow at 2 o'clock when they face the Dodgers. And after winning 4 in a row, the Bucks are looking to win number 5 as they face the Rockets tonight in Houston. Coverage starts after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Serving Milwaukee since 1945, serving the Mercure House since about 2002. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They're fantastic. I love the guys there because they're knowledgeable, they're friendly, they've got a great selection, and they've got the best prices. Best selection, best value. That is Otto's employee-owned friendly staff. They'll beat any advertised price. And I just love the selection from the beer cooler to the seltzers to the vodka. I like some flavored vodka. They've got it all at Otto's. Open 7 days a week. Great hours, great service. Celebrating their 80th birthday this year, it's Otto's.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on
WTMJ. Shove again. Hurts is in. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
You know, the Packers were victimized by that push, and they didn't like it. They didn't like it very much, and now it's official. Sources say that the Packers have filed a complaint with the competition committee. They want the tush-push banned. ABC's Alex Stone is all over this story. There's a couple jokes in there, but we won't get into that.
We won't do that.
Alex, good afternoon. What do we know about this? Where do things stand?
Yeah, so it's the play that's so popular right now on Madden, on the video game. I know my 12-year-old, he uses the tush-push all the time because you're always going to get it. You'll get that first down or you'll get the touchdown. And the Eagles and the Buffaloes, it's become their go-to, and it works. It's the brotherly shove or the tush-push or some other names for it, but basically the quarterback sneak where the QB is pushed up and over the line. It's tough on the center. It's tough on some of the other players getting everybody on top of them. And last night, the NFL said, well, we're not going to tell you what team it is. One team did it. And today at the Combine, the Packers admitted that they were the ones, and the GM saying, yep, it's them.
I think there'll be a lot of discussions about it. I got to kind of look at some of the information as far as injury rates, things like that to see. But we'll see.
So the NFL owners, they could vote on this next month at the annual league meeting in Florida. And if 24 of the 32 owners vote in favor of banning it, then it's going to be an illegal move. It already is in lower levels of sports, in high school sports and elsewhere. The league has looked at it before, but they chose not to take any action on it before. The Eagles and the Bills have run 163 tush pushes over 3 seasons. It's a lot, and more than the rest of the NFL combined. They have really perfected it. The Eagles and Bills, they've gotten a touchdown or a first down almost 90% of the time that they've done it. It's kind of an automatic. And not surprisingly, former Eagle Jason Kelce saying, hey, don't hate on it just because it works, because they figured it out. He told the podcast, the Steam Room.
Maybe the Eagles just happen to be really, really good at it. And is that fair to necessarily punish a team just because they're better at it than everybody else? I don't think that that's fair.
But, guys, even Bills coach Sean McDermott said today, yeah, they use it a lot, but they do worry about the injury risk, and the player safety is at risk with it. And some players say it's just bad for the game. Even if people aren't getting injured from it, there's no skill to it. It's pretty much an automatic first down or a touchdown. One more, Chiefs coach Andy Reid today was asked about it, and he said, look, it does not work for every team. The Bills and the Eagles, they've got the right team to do it, and he's got to respect that.
I think it takes certain players to be able to do that, and that's not an easy thing for the center. I was close to their center, so I know that's not an easy thing to do. My hat goes off to them for making it as consistent as they are doing it now.
And then he said, get your hand off my nuggies, or whatever he says in that commercial. No, he didn't say that. But he said they do need to study the injury rates and fully understand before they make this illegal. So we're going to see it. They could get the X when the owners vote on it, or they could decide to leave it in. You could argue other teams are jealous that the Bills and the Eagles have figured out really how to perfect it, or maybe it really is an injury thing, or they're using the injury as an excuse to get rid of it. But it is going to be up for vote.
I mean, how do you go up against somebody that has like a 250-pound man, multiple men, like pushing you by the butt to get to the, to a touchdown? I mean, it's really difficult. And
yeah, I mean, they came up with something that, it's kind of a rugby play more than anything, and they figured out how to do it. And you could argue that kudos to them that they've got something that makes them special and they're able to do, or is it just not fair, and is the injury risk to the center and others too high, and then it needs to go away?
I like that they're evaluating the injury part of it, because the rest of it to me doesn't smell right. If they figure it out and it's legal, why are we going to make it illegal? So then if the Packers master a 15-yard out route to the wide receiver and nobody can stop it, is some team going to say, well, we need to outlaw that?
87% success rate.
Yeah, why aren't other teams doing it? I heard what you said, Alex, but they're all big guys. It seems like that would work for any team.
I mean, Andy Reid said that it really does come down to who you've got on the line of having the right team to do it. But you do wonder, would any of these, would the argument become injury risk? Because that's an automatic at that point where you go, well, I don't know. Somebody could get injured, and then they have to look at it and take it seriously at that point and maybe nix it. Is that an excuse to get the owners to look at it? Some of the players, by the way, they, beyond saying there's just no skill in it, that they do say that they worry about it. This former Eagles lineman, Ian Beckles, he says it's not safe, that he had to deal with the aspects of it, and it doesn't feel good.
You already have to block 350-pound monsters. It can't be good for your spine in the long run.
Yeah, to have all these guys on top of you, and so maybe there is a health risk as well.
How about this, Alex? Football's not good for your spine.
Or other things on your body, too, yeah.
Every single play. What's the likelihood it gets banned? What's the process?
Well, we don't know yet because, again, 24 of the 32 owners would have to vote to ban it, and they're not really showing their cards at this point. We're kind of hearing from the coaches of the Combine right now. But among the owners, of which way they're going to go, do they like the aspect of you've got a couple of teams that do it really well, or are they going to say, nope, this isn't fair and get rid of it? We don't know yet. We'll see, but they're going to vote in a couple of weeks.
ABC's Alex Stone in Los Angeles. Thank you, Alex.
Bye, guys.
Hey, coming up, we've been talking a lot about Pope Francis, and he's got double pneumonia. He's got compromised respiratory system. He's missing part of a lung. We're going to take you inside what pneumonia actually is. We've all heard the terms. What does it do to your body? What is pneumonia? What is double pneumonia? How dangerous is it? And how does this all apply to the Pope? We will have that conversation up next on WTMJ.
Much like a satellite that's out of orbit.
I mean, we can put a man on the moon, but we're still basically very stupid.
For the past 4 years, the Rockets' playoff appearances have been dormant.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, he can build a rocket, but he's still stupid.
The Bucks head to Houston to take on the Rockets.
Kyle Kuzma goes bowling right into Harden. Counter with a foul!
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. When it comes to investment and retirement planning, it sure is important to get it right. Maybe you do it yourself. Maybe you're working with someone who isn't providing the level of service you need. It's the right time to put things in the hands of Annex Wealth Management. I've trusted Annex for a very long time. Michelle and I have been with them for a very, very long time. A well-crafted plan. It makes sense for us. They're easy to deal with. We just had our big annual meeting with our guy last week, Mike Murtos in Mequon. Absolutely fantastic. When it comes to investment and retirement planning, as well as tax and estate planning, Annex Wealth Management might be a great fit for the guidance they provide as a fee-only fiduciary. It's about you. It's not about the commissions. You've worked, saved, and invested. Annex will work with you to craft a plan that guides you on the path to the type of retirement that you deserve. Financial planning at every level with Annex. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client, or if you're just getting started, Annex Ignite. Know the difference. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. We did that years ago. It's Annex Wealth Management.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads looking?
Well, we still have some issues out there. Slow speeds for sure. Westbound 94 pretty much solid out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backed up from the Zoo all the way to 35th Street. We had an earlier disabled vehicle right about at Mitchell Boulevard. It's off on the right shoulder. Luckily, it's out of traffic, but it might be a contributing factor here. Southbound 43, slowing down from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette, over the high-rise bridge to about Lapham. Northbound's backed up out of the Marquette all the way up to Burleigh. And then southbound 41, still very heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. We've also got more delays on the 894 area from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to Loomis. Northbound 41, by the way, we do have a crash at North Avenue off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, low of 33. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a few wet snowflakes north, a high of 45. Thursday, isolated rain and snow showers possible, mostly cloudy, a high of 42. Friday, partly cloudy, mild and breezy, a high of 52. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 35 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 47 degrees in Milwaukee.
The update today on Pope Francis is that he's resting comfortably. There's no big change. He had a CAT scan today to check his lung infection, but they've not yet shared the results. But he is resting in a Rome hospital. Wanted to get some perspective in our Milwaukee Health Briefing. Dr. Julie Biller is a pulmonologist and a professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Biller, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So it's been widely reported that he has double pneumonia, but I guess I want to start with the news today because I didn't know this was a thing. He had a CAT scan, you just heard me say, to check his lung infection. What can a CAT scan see? What kind of knowledge can be gleaned from a CAT scan when it comes to level of lung infection?
So oftentimes pneumonia is suspected by symptoms that somebody will have, and they can either come in for a visit to their doctor or provider, or they can go to the emergency room. And typically a chest x-ray will be obtained first. And a chest x-ray can give us a hint that there can be pneumonia, but a CT scan gives us much more resolution and much better pictures of the lung. So it can give us much more definition of, is this pneumonia? Is it, when you have several CT scans in a row, you can compare whether things are getting better or getting worse, whether there's complications that are developing from the pneumonia.
Is it a common tool for the average person, like if I went in, or is this an extra step because it's the Pope?
Probably it's related to his clinical situation, that they want to make sure that there aren't complications from his pneumonia.
12 days in the hospital now. So what kind of treatment could he be getting right now? Maybe more oxygen?
Yes, typically we treat pneumonia with antibiotics. There are different kind of germs that can cause pneumonia. There's bacterial pneumonia. There's viral pneumonia, which became very common with the COVID pandemic. There can be fungal pneumonia. And sometimes there's pneumonia with a lot of different kind of germs in the lungs. So typically we try to figure out which kind of germs are causing the pneumonia. Then they craft the right kind of antibiotics to give. And then in addition, we try to help people cough and mobilize secretions out of their lungs. And there's some respiratory therapy devices that can help with that. And then, of course, we give oxygen supplementation if people can't maintain a normal amount of oxygen in their blood.
On top of it, the kidney failure, how serious is this?
That's, it's always better just to have one medical problem than several medical problems. But kidney impairment can be frequent with people who have infectious problems. And that can be complicated. Did his blood pressure go low? What kind of medications is he on? What other kind of medical problems does he have? Did they think that he had a related issue called sepsis? All of those things can affect the kidney function.
Oh,
Dr.
no.
Julie Biller is with us on WTMJ. How could the Pope potentially be affected by the fact that one of his lungs is only a partial lung?
Well, he has less reserve. The good thing for most of us is that we have a lot of extra tissue in most of our organs. So if you need to have part of your liver removed, it's okay because you still have enough liver to keep you living. Same thing with your lungs. And so if you had to have some of your lung removed, that gives you a little less cushion to support your breathing.
It's been reported over the past week and a half that he's been in critical condition. Then it's also reported that he wants to meet with other people in the hospital, that he's going between the bed and this chair and he's reading. I think a lot of people, when they think of someone in critical condition, they don't think of them as being that up and that active and that kind of doing day-to-day things. Can you take us inside that definition and what you make from the fact that it's been described as being a critical condition?
So I don't have all the information, but I suspect he's considered critically ill because he needs a high level of oxygen support, not as high as putting a tube through his mouth into the major breathing tube, the trachea, and attaching him to a mechanical ventilator to support him. But he is getting what's called high flow oxygen, and that is more than when you see medical dramas and somebody has that little plastic piece in their nose. That's an oxygen cannula with a certain a low level of oxygen support. The high flow setup is very different, and it does tell us that the pneumonia is quite significant.
And they said that he's walking around. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So just like with everybody, there's variations on how critically ill you are. I guess I'd say if you had to choose, you'd rather be critically ill like he is than the on a ventilator, requiring lots of intravenous support, and having your organs really dysfunctioning quite a lot.
Which is good. That's really good.
Yes.
So are they encouraging him to walk around? They're saying that he's walking around. Do you think that's something that the doctor wants him to do so they can, evaluate him better?
Yeah, I guess I'd be surprised if he's walking around a whole lot, but it is good to mobilize the body. It reduces the likelihood that you're going to get blood clots. It helps you breathe at different lung volumes, which helps you clear the lung out better. And it prevents you from getting what we call deconditioned, meaning you just get very weak.
If someone's had pneumonia, does it make them more likely to get it in the future? Are they more susceptible to other bouts?
Not necessarily. It's really very specific on factors of, do they have chronic lung disease? Do they have immune problems? Is it somebody who requires a special medication, either like for cancer therapy or, lots of other medical conditions where we have to blunt the immune system a bit to help fight whatever the underlying medical problem is? Those people are always going to be at more risk for developing pneumonia.
So if someone recovers from pneumonia, in this case the Pope, are there residual effects? Or if he recovers, is he recovered and he's back to how he was?
Yeah, so that I need to know more about his personal medical history with having had part of his lung removed. Did he have any other chronic problems in the lung that wasn't disturbed by his previous pneumonia? And if the rest of his lungs are completely normal, then he has a very good chance of recovering and not having problems quite, again. But from what I understand, going through Google, very accurate medical source, it said he's had several bouts of pneumonia in the past. So I do think he is probably at risk for developing pneumonia in the future.
Dr. Julie Biller is a pulmonologist and a professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Doctor, thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Business headlines on WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Developers of the Iron District Soccer Stadium anticipated construction start by early to mid-summer. The developers are still targeting opening the stadium in time for the 2026 United Soccer League season, which begins next March. A revised proposal for the redevelopment of Willow Run Golf Club into multi-use residential properties now includes rental homes and a clubhouse. The proposal would close the Pewaukee Golf Course. After opening 7 job hubs within Walmart locations last year, Manpower Group anticipates adding more in 2025. Executives estimated opening 7 to 10 Manpower hubs in the second or third quarter of 2025. I'm Logan Hansen from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
It's 46 degrees out and sunny, and this weekend it should be even warmer. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Special Olympics Wisconsin Polar Plunge. Are you ready to take the plunge with me? It's happening on Sunday. I hope you sign up at plungewy.org. plungewy.org. Brave souls will dive into...
I'm signing up right now, Julia. I'm signing up right now. It's very, very easy.
Good.
Yeah.
John and I are going to be emceeing at Muskego Park. It's going to be happening Saturday morning. We would love to meet you. Go to plungewi.org to sign up. A special opportunity to make a huge impact. It's more than a chili challenge. It helps more than 9,000 athletes that have special needs get a chance to be part of the community. It's amazing. Go to plungewi.org and see John and I. I'll see you at the Plunge.
Hey, look, I just signed up. It's that fast. It's that fast.
Oh my gosh, that was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, plungewi.org. Go, and it's going to ask you for your location. It happens all over the state. Go to Milwaukee, sign up there. But boom, see you Saturday.
Excellent. See you there.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services, from pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Tonight, the Bucks are blasting off into Houston to take on the Rockets.
Around a Giannis screen. Pocket pass. Giannis with a head full of steam. Glides to the rim and lays it in. Bucks by 4.
Our coverage starts at 6 with Bucks shoot-arounds. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure, your top story, agreeing to terms on a deal over natural resources.
I'm Julia Fellows, sounding the alarm on a budget proposal.
I'm Debbie Laziga, northbound 41, just north of North Avenue. We've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. The southbound side is going to be heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. You're back on the brakes from National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way almost to Loomis. We've also got a crash northbound 94, just north of College Avenue. The right lane blocked with that one. And we're seeing delays all the way back past the airport spur. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 33. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky will visit the White House on Friday to sign a minerals deal with President Trump.
It could be a $1 trillion deal. It could be whatever, but it's rare earths and other things. And look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia fighting a war that should have never, ever happened.
The deal will allow the U.S. to tap into Ukraine's mineral wealth, bringing in billions of dollars to help recoup the money the U.S. has spent to support Ukraine in the war with Russia.
And the president was asked if the email that Elon Musk sent to federal employees over this weekend, asking them to list 5 things that they did, is voluntary.
We have this massive government with millions of people, and nobody knows who's working for the government, who's not. So what they're doing is they're sending out a letter to everybody, and they're saying, what were the things you did last week? I guess they ask for 5. And if people are working, it's easy. I could tell you 5 things I did last week. I could tell you 5 things I did 6 weeks ago, right?
The president added that people will be fired if they do not answer that email.
Some Republican lawmakers are sounding the alarm over a budget plan pursued by the House that could come up for a vote as soon as this evening. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
Other concerns from Republicans are they worry that Medicaid in their states might be impacted here. Leadership says Medicaid is not mentioned in the bill, but what is mentioned is $880 billion in cuts for energy and commerce. And by the way, Medicaid falls under their umbrella. So those are why there are still some concerns. Leadership is clearly trying to figure it out.
Still unclear if a vote will take place today.
A suspect is dead after a police shooting last night in the town of Fond du Lac.
Sheriff's deputies say they made contact with the suspect over the phone initially regarding a felony warrant, then responded to the Woodland Park mobile home community. There, they say the suspect refused to listen to their commands, and after non-lethal force was used, the suspect showed a gun. A deputy then shot the suspect, who later died at a hospital. No officers or members of the public were injured. The deputy involved has been placed on administrative leave, and the State Department of Justice is currently investigating. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, the newest discovery on Mars.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you save for retirement in a 401k or IRA, let me ask you, do you know how much of that money is actually yours? Or will taxes take a bigger bite than you expected? Right now, taxes are historically low, but with growing national debt and government spending, do you think they'll really stay that way? Many retirees are shocked to realize the IRS might be one of the biggest expenses in retirement. Here's the good news. You do have options. Smart tax strategies can help you keep more of your hard-earned money instead of handing it over to Uncle Sam. At Drake & Associates, we help our clients create tax-efficient retirement income plans so they can enjoy their wealth instead of worrying about it running out. And here's the catch. These strategies work best when you plan ahead. That's why I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you understand how taxes could impact your retirement and what you can do about it. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 right now to claim your free copy while supplies last. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Take control of your retirement today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
A Chinese rover has found evidence that Mars once had an ocean with sandy beaches.
Scientists pored over the ground imaging data the rover collected from the northern lowlands of Mars and found subsurface material that's tilted at the same angle Earth's beaches are tilted at, toward the ocean. They say there had to be tides and waves. Beaches are where life started on Earth, where shallow water, air, and land merge. So the theory is maybe some life started at Mars beaches millions of years ago. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Scouting Combine Week underway in Indianapolis. A goal for Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst.
We need to affect the quarterback with 4. You know, we had good moments last year, but it just needs to be more consistent. It needs to be able to control the game, and we need to control the game and finish games off. I'm excited about the guys we have in the room. We'll see if we add to it, but that's got to get better if we're going to accomplish our goals that we want to accomplish in this season.
Winners of 4 straight games, the Bucks travel to Houston to face the Rockets tonight. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ. And in college hoops, 21st-ranked Marquette hosts Providence. That's a 6 o'clock tip. The 11th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers host Washington, an 8 o'clock tip. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. College? You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Our expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. If something ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. Oh my gosh, why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, happy Tuesday. Glad that you are with us. Hey, coming up in just a couple of minutes, playfulness. Why it's important for even adults to be playful, to have that mindset. Megan Anderson, therapist, with us live in the studio. But first.
Right, at 5:09. Parents at Whitefish Bay's Cumberland Elementary have been left in the dark for nearly 2 months as to why the school's assistant principal has not been back to work since winter break. And we found out why yesterday. It's because Rebecca Solomon is under investigation for homicide by use of a vehicle while driving drunk. She was officially charged last Friday and now faces 50 years in prison. The Whitefish Bay School District Superintendent sent out the notice to parents just yesterday that they are aware of a personnel matter, subject of media attention, super vague, and they said that besides her, no one else within the school community was involved in this matter. But she did have a passenger in her vehicle when this happened. The Washington County District Attorney's Office lays out the accusations against her. They say that they had to put the male passenger even in cuffs because he kept telling her not to talk after this crash took place. It took place in the town of West Bend, December 29th, a Sunday night at about 8 o'clock. Deputies say that she blew a stop sign at the intersection of County Trunk Highways P and NN. Court records say that she slammed into another car. They took a look at the box in the engine where you can see exactly the mile an hour before she pressed the brake. She was going about 47 miles an hour when she struck the other driver of the car that she hit. We're told a man is the victim, an elderly man. That's all we know. We don't know his name or anything. He was in the other car. He was pronounced dead at the hospital 5 days later. He had a serious head injury. Washington County deputies say that she failed a sobriety test. They could smell alcohol in her breath. She had slurred speech. She had really bad balance and admitted that she had 3 margaritas where she just left from, Lucky Shots Tavern. And when she was first asked about what she was up to before the crash, remember that man I was telling you about who was in her car at the time of the crash? Apparently, he was telling Solomon not to say anything and even confronted the deputies, got in their faces. So he was detained while this all happened, and someone's fighting for their life, eventually died. He was arrested, we've learned, for being armed while intoxicated. Felony firearm. You cannot be intoxicated at all if you have a gun. An hour after the crash, a blood draw at the hospital read that she had a blood alcohol level of 0.109.
An hour after the crash.
So 0.8
Wow.
is the legal limit. Solomon is on administrative leave. The letter to parents was really vague again. So a lot of people are saying they were left in the dark, didn't even say her name. It's saying due to personnel matters. They didn't say it was because she's accused of driving drunk, hitting into another car, and killing someone. That's what she's accused of. And she could face 50 years behind bars. The Cumberland principal is getting support, they wrote, to ensure the school remains uninterrupted.
Wow.
She's
that
back
is
in court
tragic
next month.
story. Tragic story. Interesting detail. It is 5:13 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next. Then this idea of playfulness, going back to your childhood, why that whole concept can be really good for your mental health. Megan Anderson with us in the studio up next.
Light that's out of orbit.
I mean, we can put a man on the moon, but we're still basically very stupid.
For the past 4 years, the Rockets' playoff appearances have been dormant.
You see what I'm saying? Well, yeah, you can build a rocket, but he's still stupid.
The Bucks head to Houston to take on the Rockets.
Kyle Kuzma goes bowling right into Harden. Counter with a foul.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, I just got the nicest email today. It was from a woman who said, hey, after hearing you talk about Azura, we took my mom for a tour, and my mom is at Azura, and we feel really good about the decision. Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. They are the real deal. They're the best in the business. They're about heart, compassion, empathy. As we live longer, there's more need for this. We need to take care of the ones that we love when they need that specialized care. That's what they do at Azura. They care for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They are a Wisconsin company, family owned, top tier care. 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. It's Azura.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Grab your to-do list and head to Fleet Farm for Project Days, happening now through the 26th. Carhartt fans get a free $20 gift card with every $100 worth of Carhartt gear. Good on your next Fleet Farm purchase. Sprout Sweet Mix for horses and livestock is just $8.99 a bag. And save $50 on a Milwaukee M18 Compact Brushless Drill Driver Kit, now only $149. And save big on Milwaukee tools during Milwaukee Deal Days, February 20th through the 26th at Fleet Farm.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Lazaga, how's that ride rolling?
Well, we still have this accident northbound 94 north of College Avenue, the right lane being blocked there, so that's backing things up back past the airport spur, so just give yourself tons of extra time there. Southbound 41 slowing down just north of Silver Spring, down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side still has an accident there at just north of North Avenue, off on the right shoulder. Eastbound 94, delays heading through the Barker Road area all the way to just before you get to Brookfield Road. Then back on the brakes from the Zoo all the way to 35th. Westbound, heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a high of 45. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 42. Friday, mild breezy, a high of 52. How nice is that? On Saturday, it cools back off, partly cloudy, a high of 35. Right now, clear skies and 46 degrees. People are talking about this playfulness or kind of embracing that childhood and that good memory and good energy that you used to have. And Megan Anderson is here to talk to us about it. Therapist in a Couch. That's the website, therapistandacouch.com. Counselor Megan Anderson's with us in the studio. It's so fun to have you here.
Oh, this is a good change of pace.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's start in general terms. When we say playfulness or embracing that, what are we talking about? What is that and why could that be healthy?
I think it's thinking about going back to some of your childhood roots a little bit, or it's the idea of trying something new. And I think the reason why that's healthy is as adults, I think we get a little bit more rigid and constricted. And all of a sudden, we don't feel so free, so joyful, so purposeful. And playfulness is about getting back to that a little bit.
I'm thinking about playing Roller Coaster Tycoon again. I love playing that game.
Yeah.
But I would lose so many hours. It would be like 4 a.m. in a blink. So I don't want to do that. But, like rollerblading or something like that would be an idea.
Oh, I think that's absolutely an idea. I mean, I think for anyone listening right now, if you can even just go back and think about something you really enjoyed as a kid. Maybe it was a sport, maybe it was a craft. And if you really just got quiet for a second and thought about what it felt like in your body, I mean, getting to re-engage in that is ideally going to bring back those feelings. And I'd hope that wouldn't be anything but good feelings.
Like Megan, adult coloring became a real thing a few years ago. And I still see, like in Pick and Save, I just saw the other day, an adult coloring book with crayons. Is that kind of tapping into this?
I think that's absolutely tapping into it. I mean, it's engaging you in different senses. It's taking you back to some memories. there's a literal physical element to it. Think about like the smell of crayons too.
Yeah.
There's something nostalgic to that. And so I think it's just definitely a way of reconnecting with playfulness.
I don't think people realize how regimented they are. When I went to the DNC and stayed at my dad's, I didn't realize how neurotic I was in the morning with everything that I needed in place. Maybe people realize it when they're on vacation or something like that. But it's super important to be self-aware, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my argument would be self-awareness is always a good thing. If anything, we need more of it. So I think that self-awareness is really, really helpful. And plus, when you do something like that, you're changing up your patterns, which is really good for our brain in a lot of ways.
Isn't it really about making time for yourself right at the end of the day and finding time to relax and decompress? Is it just as beneficial if you make time to read or to go for a jog or to do something like that?
I think any activity like that is going to be really helpful. And I was thinking a bit of this ahead of today. A lot of times as therapists, we sometimes classify this as a distraction. And I think that's a loaded word. I mean, this is really important for us, having fulfilling, meaningful lives, reconnecting with parts of ourselves that maybe we don't always get to connect to. So I think it's more than a distraction. I think anything like that's important.
And the new thing like pickleball or inviting some people over to play a card game. There's so much social isolation that happens. So it might be a really nice thing to do.
Yeah. Is it amazing for your dad when you're home?
Oh, yeah. He's so excited.
Even with all your, you're a busy, busy person. I bet he loves having you in the house, though.
Yes, yes.
So do you feel like, Megan, that there's benefit to, in this case, her dad, too? Because she's embracing her childhood, but so are our parents or her dad or the people we love when we do these sort of things.
Well, it's getting us connected back to play. I mean, even when we think about parents interacting with little kids, I know sometimes playing with them might feel like another thing on your to-do list, but even engaging in 5 minutes to 10 minutes of that with a kid is really important. And then it serves as nostalgic memories when you go back home and hang out with your dad. It takes us all back in really good ways.
I want to ask you about an interesting finding. So there was a survey done that found the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States, it impacted all of us, found that more playful individuals had greater optimism, stronger coping skills, and a more positive experience during activities. People who are more playful and lighter seem to do better. What's that all about? Why do you think that's the case?
I think it might go back to that concept of constriction, which I know is a really clinical word, but just think about as adults, we take on more responsibility. We have more limitations. I mean, in a lot of ways, you would think when you're a young person, as an adult, I'm going to become more free. I don't know. I'd argue you become a little bit more limited in a lot of ways. And I don't think it always does us a good service. So being lighter and playful, I think that helps us be stronger and more resilient.
Maybe start slow, though. Like if you're interested in ballet and have always wanted to try it, don't go down to the Milwaukee Ballet and try out for the lead in Swan Lake.
No, I wouldn't try that. I wouldn't try that.
Start
but
slow.
I tried adult snowboarding classes last year. Never did that
How
once
was
as a
it?
kid. It's a lot safer for me than skiing, but it's awkward. And you have to socialize and you have to do something new you're not good at. But I think getting reacquainted with that, because we're all doing that when we're younger, is really
So it
important.
takes
as an adult.
courage. You're right. That takes courage to
What did you
step
like
out
to
of our
do when you were
comfort zone.
younger?
All the sports stuff, play kickball in my neighborhood, ride my bike with the little baseball cart in the spoke. So I went riding around, chase girls around my neighborhood. Just typical things, right? Board games. I was a really big board game family, and we passed that along to our kids.
Oh, that's fun.
And now my twins are like 30 years old. And when they come home, we still play lots of board games. And they're the games they played, like the one you mentioned. And so it kind of takes us all back, and it's a comfortable
It's a ritual.
area, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can all take a lot of ease in that. And I don't know who isn't seeking more ease in their life these days or
Yeah.
ever.
It'll make you a better coworker. Let's do this.
In general, are we light enough? It seems like the world's so heavy. I even find this with my wife, Michelle, that we're so busy all the time, whether it's fundraising for something or work or a project around the house. We're so busy all the time. How do we force ourselves to just be lighter?
I think you need to carve out the time, even though it's uncomfortable. I mean, that's the thing that I think we all get hung up on is, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. Think about how stressful it is to allocate more time for something else. I think we just need to swallow the pill. It's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, you're going to make a sacrifice, but there's consequences to us not doing this.
That's why I believe in vacations too. It gets you out of the house, out of your element. So then you don't have to keep on looking at that laundry basket or something you need to do in the house.
Yeah,
That's
change up
such a
that
good
routine.
point. Yep. Oh, I do love vacation. and use every day of it, too. What was your favorite thing to do as a little girl?
Horseback riding, hands down. I was thinking about that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you still carve time to do that?
I wish that I did. I mean, I come up with the excuses like any adult does. Oh, it's far away to drive to a barn to get reconnected.
I
There's
love that
money.
too.
But I mean, I think it's worthwhile
The
for us to
smell
do
of
it.
mud and everything.
The smell of horse manure. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but
Takes you back to
It
that
takes you
moment,
back.
right?
It's not that bad of a smell.
No.
Trust
Yeah.
me. Not like a pig farm or something.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely true. All right, if you want more information, I was just on Megan's website actually today as we were preparing for the interview. It's therapistandacouch.com. She has free advice and free tools on there, which are really, really interesting, and you learn a lot about her. Megan Anderson is the therapist and a couch. This is so fun, Megan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is 5:24 at WTMJ. Niz is with us after the news. And then a guy who ran 7 marathons in 6 days in the studio. This is just amazing, amazing, amazing. First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. How about today? It was kind of mixed. Let's start with the Dow because it was up 160 points. That's 0.3% on the day. The NASDAQ was off pretty big, down 261. It closed at 19,026. The S&P was off 28 points on the day. That is 0.5%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Abby Windows.
Is your bathroom stuck in the 90s? Sick of looking at that pink and brass? Then it's time for an upgrade. Abby Home can customize a new tub or shower conversion just for you. If you like the look of tile, but don't want the maintenance and issues that come with it, we're your perfect fit. We pull all the permits, take it down to the studs, and get you a whole new look in 2 days. Go to myabbyhome.com to learn more. Right now, get 0% interest for 24 months and get 20% off your project. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
WDTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. You know, I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Advent knows.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Landworks Wisconsin, they're a different kind of company. They have solutions that are fresh and stand the test of time. Landworks did our yard. I was just out there with the dogs the other day, looking at the stuff that's now kind of dormant because of winter. And I'm so excited for those flowers to bloom and for the bushes, the colorful bushes to pop. It's Landworks Wisconsin. It's going to happen at spring. Plan your summer landscape right now. Joe, the guy at my house, fantastic. The whole team is incredibly dynamic. Big project, small project, they will do your project and do it right. It's Landworks Wisconsin, the best in the business. They do all the planting, they do lawns, they do lighting, they do pavers and patios. LandworksWisconsin.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, floating the idea of a gold card.
I'm Julia Fellow. Tariffs on copper.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound 43, still a solid ride from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Northbound's also very heavy out of the Marquette all the way up past North Avenue. Westbound 94 actually technically slowing down on 794 westbound through the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound has got some backups basically past Barker Road to Brookfield Road, and then again from the zoo all the way through to about 35th Street. Westbound, by the way, also slowing down from Highway 100 all the way to Sunny Slope Road. Southbound on 894, we got some backups from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Loomis. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Increasing clouds tonight, a low of 33. Tomorrow, scattered showers. A few wet snowflakes are possible north, a high of 45. Right now, it's 44 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, as he signed new executive orders in the Oval Office, President Trump floated the idea of a new version of a green card called a gold card.
And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people.
The administration says it'll be used to replace the EB-5 program that allows investors and their families to apply for a green card if they make investments in the U.S. commercially and plan to create jobs.
The president is also directing the government to consider potential tariffs on copper, the latest move by the White House to tax a wide array of imports and reshape global trade. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro says the goal to stop China build out of its copper sector and to address a broader national security vulnerability, he says. There's also a desire to restore the domestic mining, smelting, and refining of copper, given potential military and technological needs.
As he signed a new batch of executive orders today, the president was asked by a reporter if he'll consider more military support in Ukraine in the future.
Ukraine, I will say, they're very brave and they're good soldiers, but without the United States and its money and its military equipment, this war would have been over in a very short period of time.
The president says he thinks Europe will be mostly responsible for Ukraine's military support.
Some Republican lawmakers sounding the alarm over a budget plan pursued by the House that could come up for a vote by the end of the night. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
Other concerns from Republicans are they worry that Medicaid in their states might be impacted here. Leadership says Medicaid is not mentioned in the bill, but what is mentioned is $880 billion in cuts for energy and commerce. And by the way, Medicaid falls under their umbrella. So those are why there are still some concerns. Leadership is clearly trying to figure it out.
A vote before the end of the day is looking less likely.
Federal safety regulators are investigating a close call at Chicago's Midway Airport between a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 and a business jet early today.
As a Southwest flight from Omaha was touching down on the runway at Midway Airport, a business jet crossed in front of it. The Southwest pilots, right as the wheels were about to touch the runway, pushed the throttles up and took off. Heard on liveatc.net.
Southwest 2504 going around.
2504, roger that, maintain 3000.
Air traffic controllers could be heard telling the business jet not to cross the runway, but it did anyway. The two planes came within about 2,000 feet of each other. The NTSB and FAA are investigating. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Here locally, Whitefish Bay Elementary School associate principal facing homicide charges. Associate principal at Cumberland Elementary, Rebecca Solomon, is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle for a crash from December in the town of West Bend. Police say Solomon failed to yield at a county trunk P and county trunk NN and crashed into another car. The elderly driver of the other vehicle was seriously injured with a head injury and died a few days later. She now has an initial court appearance set for next month.
2,000 National Park Service and U.S. Forest Service employees are out of a job. Retired National Park Ranger for the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, Neil Howell, tells WTMJ what kind of services will impact visitors the most.
We're not going to be able to maintain not just the historic buildings. There's over 200 historic buildings in the Apostle Islands that the Park Service already struggles to keep up the maintenance on that. But it's maintaining the recreational facilities that people depend on, the docks, the trails, the campsites. It's going to be hard to keep up with all of that.
Howell says with fewer employees working at the park, visitors will have a difficult time traversing the islands.
A sale of the Slinger Super Speedway tentatively reached that will keep the racing at the track. Current track owners, Todd and Elizabeth Talon, say that the buyers are local fans and transitioned into racing themselves. The names have not been public yet. The Talons say that they are expecting no changes of the upcoming season of racing at the track.
It's one of the most bizarre yet effective plays in the NFL, and it's been perfected by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hurts on the sneak. Kyle drives his way in. Touchdown.
But not every team is pro-tush-push. One team has submitted a proposal to ban the play. That team is the Green Bay Packers.
We're not very successful against it, I know that.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst speaking to reporters at the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis.
We've used it in different fashions with our tight end. Again, I think there'll be a lot of discussions about it.
The play will be a topic of discussion at the league's annual meetings, which begin March 30th. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers are 1-2 in the spring training, but look to even the standings as they play the Cleveland Guardians today. Our next Brewers broadcast is set for tomorrow at 2 when they face the Dodgers. And after winning 4 in a row, the Bucks are looking for a win number 5 as they face the Rockets tonight in Houston. Coverage starts after the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Hey, she's the sunshine in our Tuesday. Kristen Kershane joins us. What a beautiful day.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, so nice out. Did you guys get outside?
I actually did. I had to get a criminal complaint in West Bend. But it was real a 45-minute drive back and forth. It was really nice, and I was also checking out Red Arrow Park to see if the ice skating rinks are open because Madison's ice rinks are closed. And it looked like a slushy mess.
But they're still open, right?
They say that for now they are, but it won't be for much longer. What do you think, Kristen? Do you think they're going to close too, like Madison?
I don't know. Doesn't Red Arrow have like a cooling thing under their ice there? I thought that they did. I don't know that for sure.
It was slushy, though, you said, right, Julia?
Like a quarter of it was melted.
I know the snow in my
that's too
yard,
bad.
Kristen, is remarkable because, we got a couple pretty decent snows in Menominee Falls, and now it's gone, except where there's shade. It's pretty much gone.
It's gone. It's crazy. It's I posted a picture on my social media of the satellite view from today because the sky was clear. So we got this really nice view from space of what the ground looks like across Wisconsin. And basically, central and southern Wisconsin has no snow left on the ground after just the last 2 days.
Because
and today's
you can
sunshine
get a nice little...
really baked a lot of it away. Northern Wisconsin still has some snow.
Oh, that's
but,
cool.
It feels like winter is really winding down here. Is it truly? No, we get a lot of false springs. You know that. You guys have lived here long enough that you know that.
But still, it's going to hurt the Northwoods if, these warm temps the next week, it's going to creep further and further north where the snow disappears, right?
Yeah, it is because it's going to be in the 40s the next couple of days and then a pretty warm day, at least here on Friday. Now, there is a system that's going to pass to our north on Friday. I don't think that's going to bring much snow to northern Wisconsin, maybe like an inch or two. So not much.
Is it?
But, we're not done with the snow. It always snows in March. Sometimes
you're right.
It snows in April.
Right. So the little bit we got in February, was it enough to make a dent in the drought? Was it enough to make a difference?
Probably no.
Not really.
Because we're still behind. We still have a snow deficit for the season of, I want to say, around 10 inches of snow. And what we have now for moisture locked up in that snowpack is largely turning into runoff because the ground is frozen.
Oh.
So the ground will probably absorb some of that moisture, but not a lot of it. So a lot of it will run off into the street drains and it will run off into the creeks and the rivers like
My
that.
dog only wants to go to the bathroom on the snow now.
Oh, because he's used to the snow now?
Find the patches?
He's trying to find the fresh snow
Oh,
wherever he
that's
can.
funny.
Oh, yeah. The snow is so gross. What's left of it, it's just like those gross, dirty piles on the sides of the streets.
What's really gross is the snow in my yard melted, and now there's all those dog turds underneath there that I didn't know were there.
Okay, at my apartment complex, they now have to do a DNA fecal thing.
What?
Yes.
What?
I swear.
What is this?
I had to submit some of Murphy's droppings.
What?
Because so many people weren't picking up their droppings.
They're going to test them to see who's not picking up?
That's why your rent's so damn high. They're sending your turds to a scientific lab. Oh, my God. Hey, sorry, everybody. We're raising your rent $100 a month because we're testing dog turds.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, get serious.
They caught the lady across from me.
They did?
Yeah, she got so mad. She moved.
Then do you get fined or what happens?
You have to pay for the lab test.
Okay. Passed on to the residents.
But one of them was a suspect that lived in a house down the way, so there's no getting your money back with that.
Yeah,
with this giant German Shepherd.
Oh, I bet that was some big droppings.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Hey, how about tonight in the next few days, Kristen? What are we looking at?
All right. So tonight, clouds are going to increase late tonight. We'll have showers around tomorrow. It's going to be a much different day tomorrow. So it'll be cloudy, kind of misty. We'll have scattered rain, maybe a few wet snowflakes trying to mix in. Highs low to mid 40s. Thursday, a very isolated rain snow mix possible. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, breezy, 42. Friday, we're up to 50. However, it's going to be very windy as we wrap up the week. So Friday, wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour. Not going to make it that nice outside. And then a cold front will come through late Friday, dropping temperatures back into the 30s over the weekend. But we will get to enjoy some more sunshine.
Great dog poop cleanup weather. Kristen Gershane. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. With WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts. On air and at WTMJ.com.
Dave Drake Camp Heating. We're not done with winter yet. Make sure you're in good shape. Make sure you're in a good spot. Make sure that your furnace is running with no issues, because when that next cold snap comes through, you don't want to be dealing with it then. Get in touch with my friends at independent, family-owned Dave Drake Camp Heating, who also, by the way, sponsor our podcast. So when you text the word WAN, W-A-N, to listen to all the content in our show, it's sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. They're going to take care of you big time. Whether you need a tune-up or routine maintenance, you have an issue and you need a repair, or if you're in the market for a new furnace or air conditioner, and I was there a couple of years ago, Dave Drake Camp will do it for you. Great. They'll come out to your house for that free estimate. That's how my home comfort system is running like a clock, because Dave Drake Camp takes great care of us. It gives us peace of mind knowing our home always feels just right. Trust Dave Drake Camp to take care of your family's comfort just as they have mine for so many years. Check them out today, DaveDrakeCamp.com. That's Dave Drake Camp. Just Google it, .com.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Let's get you ready to safely with our Debbie Lozica. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Julia. Okay, here's what we got going on. We got 94 eastbound, pretty much a parking lot from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street. The westbound side, just as heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. More delays west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Southbound 43 backing up now just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River. We do have one other spot of heavy traffic from Keefe to Locust. Northbound is going to be slow out of the Marquette up to Fond du Lac, and then again right around the North Avenue curve. Up to about Center Street. And then on the bypass, we've got heavy traffic from basically southbound from Beloit Road down and around the Hale to Forest Home. More delays then from about 60th Street to just past Loomis. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
All right, this is an incredible story. It's very inspiring. Dr. Clark Gamblin is a surgical oncologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. He's just back from the World Marathon Challenge. We had him in before. He went on his great adventure, and he's back now. Dr. Gamblin, thank you so much for being with us here in the studio.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm pleased to be here.
This is amazing. So the goal heading out was 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. I can't even imagine. You started in Antarctica, so let's kind of walk through the journey.
Sure.
Tell us about Antarctica.
Yeah, so a team of 65 representing 22 countries assembled in Cape Town, South Africa. Got on an old Russian cargo jet, flew it into the inter portion of Antarctica where only 250 people go in a year or so. It's because there's nothing there outside of a track. And so we ran loops on that track, ran a marathon. It was a beautiful day, about 20 degrees. I actually ran without gloves on. I was kind of prepared for anything. The next day, it was about 10 below and 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Whoa.
So it's super variable, and that's the reason we put that race first. And so that's when the clock started ticking. I thought, and everyone thought, we had 7 days to do this race, but we finished it in 6 days.
Really?
So we had, we should call it the 776 race, I guess.
That's amazing.
Because we ran the first 2 marathons in the first 24 hours. So we turned around from Antarctica, flew back to Cape Town, and I thought, we'll have a few hours and then we'll assemble again. They said, we're going to set the course up. We'll run in about an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
So we ran 2 marathons the first day.
Whoa.
Where were you even sleeping?
So you sleep on the plane. We didn't have hotels at any of the stops. It was literally land the plane, get to the site, run the race, back to the plane.
How did you sleep on the plane? I could never sleep.
Me either.
It was a charter plane, and so all the seats went flat. And so it was kind of equipped for that.
That's tough, though. So Antarctica, you're in the heart of Antarctica. When you go on a cruise ship, you go to the islands where you see the penguins and that stuff. You land in the center. Do they use a snowplow or something to carve out a track? How's
No,
this
they
set
just
up?
landed it in a field. I mean, it feels kind of like you're running on the moon. I mean, to the left and right, you just see white ice and snow. And it wasn't deep snow, so they just landed the plane. It was a very smooth landing. I've had rougher landings in airports before, so it's
what
kind
about
of
where
amazing.
you run? Is it running? Is there a path?
There was a path, a loop, if you will. And so we ran 8 loops on the track, and they had an aid station, at the halfway point. So the loops allowed us to only have a minimal number of runners, but yet provide aid. So that was it got a little monotonous. There was a hill, pretty good hill, and so when you run up it the first time, you think 7 more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was a beautiful day, and it was a great start. And then we went from there to Cape Town, and from there being cold in Antarctica to being, probably about 85, almost 90 in Cape Town. So the change was significant. And then we just welcomed an 11-hour flight from Cape Town to Perth.
So you could rest.
So we could sleep a little bit.
So how'd Perth go?
Beautiful. We did it at night, did it right there by the water. Perth is the most isolated city in the world, many say. Honolulu might be the most isolated city, but one of those two. Ran from a rugby club, ran 4 loops, and then showered at the rugby club, which we were all glad to have, and then got back on the plane and off to Dubai.
Oh my
yeah. How was Dubai? I was worried about.
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't go into the city though. They have an expo center they built in 2020 to host the world, if you will. It's almost like Disney World. Like there's a building Saudis built and a building the United States built, and then COVID hit, and so this huge kind of almost city in and of itself outside the city of Dubai. They opened that up for us. Lighted it for us. We ran there, so it was pretty amazing.
So you had air conditioning,
and it was very neat because we went in on a private jet. So we landed at the private airport in Dubai, and you can imagine what that was like.
The
you go into
gold-plated jet sitting out there.
Yeah, you get into the lounge, and there's Lamborghinis down one side and Bugattis down the other side. And it was fun.
Sorry, so now you do Dubai, and Dubai is your
number 4
in 3 days.
In 3 days, exactly.
How's your body feeling at this point?
Body's feeling good. Legs feel great, hips are good. Everybody's kind of feeling it out. One guy had some trouble and actually had to get some crutches on the second marathon and did the next 6 with crutches.
Oh, my gosh.
So so there were some people that struggled with injuries, and I would say anyone who had a nagging injury, it quickly surfaced. I was fortunate I never had an injury, so I felt great. Marathon 5 was in Madrid, so a short flight really from Dubai to Madrid, considering about 6 hours, on an F1 track.
Oh, wow.
And
interesting.
So I was a little worried about it, and it turned out to be a pretty valid concern because the pitch on the F1 track is very slanted.
Yeah.
And so we ran 11 laps on an F1 track. Big hill on that one, too, as you imagine those race cars coming over that hill. And run up it the first time, I think 10 more times of this. And as I began to run, I began to have some low back spasms in Madrid. And so
like actually spasming?
Like spasming in my back, yeah. And I was struggling, but I finished it. And so I was like, okay, fine. I got 5 marathons in 4 days done. Next is Brazil, next to last race. And in Brazil, I couldn't run the full marathon. I ran a half marathon.
Did you know, like as you were loosening up before the race, like I'm hurting here?
Yeah, totally hurting. And like we had a medic guy with us. I was like, do you have a muscle relaxer by any chance? I'm having some back spasm. I've never had back trouble. And they were like, we don't. And one guy said, I have a cane if you need a cane. And I said, no, I don't think I need a cane. I'm just going to start running, in Brazil, and we'll see. It's right there by the ocean, beautiful day. Again, really hot, really humid. Felt like you're running in the jungle a little bit. And after a couple loops, I was like, I'll take the cane.
And
someone was
just texting in, how much did this trip cost? But you were raising money, right?
Right. So I had some corporate sponsors that covered the registration for the race. I'm very grateful for that. Frederick Medical College being one of them. And they sponsored any expense on registering for the race, but the expense to do the race is about $50,000 for an individual to do it because of all the flights, the private jet, all the food, everything. And then I raised money in addition to that. So anyone who gave money to the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation, which is a national organization raising awareness, providing financial support to those families that need some bridging as they encounter a disease that's actually a lot more common than most people think. Lifetime risk, 1 in 250 men will have testicular cancer. And the encouraging part of that is 95% curable if found early.
So you hobbled through the half in Brazil.
The half in Brazil.
Where was the final?
Miami.
Race. Were you worried, like if you'd be able to run it all, or did you know you were feeling good enough?
A little bit, just because I was like, the unknown of how's my back going to behave. But mentally, I kind of always knew I was going to be able to at least do the half. And so in Miami, I did a half as well. So I wound up running 5 marathons, 5 full marathons, 2 half marathons.
It's incredible.
In 6 days. And in Miami, I had my 3 kids there. My wife, Jan, was there. My brother, my sister. It was awesome.
How much weight did we lose?
Oh, none, really.
What?
Yeah, none, yeah. I mean, you're eating like crazy and trying to keep up, and you're drinking tons of fluids, and so it's not I wouldn't recommend it as a weight loss program.
Did we become more muscular? What
Definitely increased muscle mass during the training, but during the 6 days, it's really just about getting rest and recovery in between.
How much did you sleep right after?
Oh man, I just went straight to the condo in Miami and went to sleep before I even went to celebrate with my family.
Yeah, you needed that rest.
Did you grow close to some of the other runners?
Oh, they're amazing people. You can imagine. So very, very diverse group. After they gave the instructions to us in English, they gave it in Mandarin because there was a huge Chinese group as well. But very much national pride. Lots of American flags amongst the 20 of us. One of the guys I got to know really well worked for the Secret Service, worked in the White House.
Wow.
Was running to raise awareness for the 13 soldiers that were killed in the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
So there were about 10 or 12 of us that were running for a cause. There's one other Wisconsinite from Janesville.
Really?
Running to raise awareness for Alzheimer's. His mother had passed away from that. So it was just super cool to see him and just connect with. I had no idea he would be there.
Were there women?
There were. Oh, yeah. There were actually 2 women that were 67 years of age that both completed all 7 marathons.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, and these people are like, I've done a dozen Ironmans. I've run over 100 marathons. I mean, some of these people were just unbelievable just to talk to, but they were so humble. Like you had to draw that out of them. You'd be like, how many marathons have you done? Oh, I've done a fair number. Have you done more than 50? Oh, yeah, I've done more than. But just really neat people.
If people want to help now, how can they do that? You're still raising money for this great cause.
We have an Instagram, T. Clark Gamblin Instagram. There's a link there for a pledge site. We've raised about $130,000. We're super proud of the idea that corporate sponsorship allows us to say to people, if you give money to the Testicular Cancer Awareness Foundation, 100% of it goes to the foundation. None of it covers anything with the race. So I appreciate all the support that people have given.
So Instagram, it's T. Clark Gamblin.
Correct.
On Instagram. Check it out there. T. Clark Gamblin is a surgical oncologist. Congratulations. This is incredible. It's such a proud thing for all of us that live here that you did this. This is so
thanks.
cool.
I'm looking forward to sharing the story with people. The University of Minnesota football coach called me this week and said, men's health is important to us, and our young men need to know how to overcome adversity. They need to have mental grit. Would you come over and spend some time with the team?
Wow.
And I was like, that's exactly why I did this, to share a message about men's health, raise awareness for testicular cancer, and inspire other people. So I appreciated that invitation. Look forward to sharing the story with lots of people.
That's amazing. Dr. Gamblin, thank you so much for sharing the story with us and our listeners.
Thanks for having me.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTR.